Hey everyone, it's Young Skeleton here again, and in today's video I wanted to talk about the new JP units. Again, if you've never seen a video of mine, I don't really have scripts, I just kinda ramble. I've been thinking about this ever since the level 120 has been first announced, and I mean, just talk about some stuff that I have read, some stuff that I have heard, give my thoughts, and maybe not really perspective, but give some new opinions that because what I'm gonna say I don't think I've ever I didn't think I've read or heard someone say what I'm about to say. So here we go. First of all, level 120 units. I think we're all worried. I don't know you guys, but I have been through situations in games that I've played in the past with Korean MMOs actually. A lot of people don't know this, but this model that is both a blessing and a curse, that is this kind of freemium model, I think it was invented by Korean MMOs. Uh, and I say a blessing and a curse because it's really cool that a lot of people can enjoy these games, because they're free. And this model is actually very rentable. You make a lot of money with this type of game. It's not a coincidence that a lot of people are making this type of game. Like, do you honestly think it's just like, yeah, we want people to have fun with our games? No, it's because this lowers the entry barrier, and once you lower the entry barrier, you make people more comfortable with spending money. It's not like paying $100 for a game that you don't even know if you're gonna like and play. Like, people are way more comfortable with spending like money on cosmetic stuff for games that they already play and that they already enjoy. So yeah, it's cool that this model exists and that it lowers the entry barrier and allows people to make cool games for free and allows a lot of games to exist that otherwise wouldn't. But the curse of this is that a lot of people that are way too greedy just just exploit this model without really understanding how to make a long lasting game out of it. I'm no game producer, so this is more from the standpoint of a player, okay? Uh, I'm not claiming that this would make the game more rentable. I mean, what I'm gonna say is that I would be more willing to play a game for longer if under these conditions instead of what I've seen happen in so many games and what I fear that might happen with this game because it is what I hear like people say that happened with FFB. Um, I'm not sure if this would actually make the game more rentable. I'm saying that this would make the game last longer. I'm pretty sure of it. At least these I'm pretty sure that it would make the game last longer. The game would not die as fast, like as an abrupt death. The game that I'm gonna use for reference mostly will be Tree of Savior because I've played that game. Actually, let me pull up my. You guys aren't gonna fucking try to hack me, right? Tree of Savior. Here we go. Let me pull up my Steam real quick and show you guys that I have, okay, 1.5 thousand hours in this game. I've played this game a lot. I love this game, okay? I would still play this fucking game if not for the reason that like I'm gonna talk about right now. The reason is the bad management of power creep. This word gets thrown around a lot. Uh, Mostly I think because of Cabbage. I'm not trying to like poke fun of him or anything, but like he is the most influential uh, influencer, I want to say, or whatever. He is the most influential YouTuber, I think, for this game. So like when he talks about power creep, a lot of people repeat that. And I don't think he says anything wrong, much like exactly the opposite. I agree with everything that he says about power creep. But a lot of people they watch his videos and they don't understand what he's talking about. Uh, so I'm gonna say this is not exactly power creep. It is and it is not. In this case, Titus, he is stronger than like he has 5.5 thousand HP and 1.2 thousand attack. Like that is a lot. I don't think any other unit can match that right now. So yeah, that is kind of power creep, but not really because uh, older units are going to catch up to this because they are going to like add level 120 to all older units, and I assume they mean all fucking units. I mean, I hope they mean all units, even like collaboration units, because if they don't, um, yeah, this is just straight up power creep, and this is, I'm gonna just say I think this is awful for the game. Like just adding level 120 right now, I already think it is kind of awful for the game, but in a better way because at least it allows us to keep like using older units. And while this, if older, if like not every unit gets this, like by the size of the, like by the amount of stats that we see here, I feel like the level 99 units would be just left behind. Um, so why do I bring this up? Like, I feel like even if we had like units stay at how do I say it? If we even if like every unit got up to level 120, I feel like this would still be like kind of a problem. Not because of power creep. That would be the exact opposite of power creep. That's like kind of where I wanted to get. Because people like are saying, "Oh, this is power creep. This is power creep." Yeah, this is kind of power creep. But since older units are also getting this kind of treatment, like the level 120 treatment, this is not exactly power creep. It's more like raising the power ceiling, or as Cabbage likes to say, I think it's player side power creep, where not necessarily units are like getting stronger than other units, like making other units obsolete, but the player as a whole is getting stronger. Yeah, this is exactly what's happening. You can call it power creep, but I prefer call it like raising the power ceiling because uh, nothing is getting obsolete exactly, you know? So why do I think this is still bad? Because the reason why I stopped playing Tree of Savior is exactly because this kept happening at such a fast pace that it was impossible to keep up. Uh, that game, for those who don't know, is a Korean MMO. I'm sorry, not Japanese, Korean MMO, and it's a spiritual successor to Ragnarok Online, which was another role-playing game that I've played for. I'm pretty sure that I've played that shit for over 5,000 hours. I love this game still, and I still reinstall it and play around with it. But the thing is, those games, though, like the three games that I'm talking about, Ragnarok, Tree of Savior, and Final Fantasy Brave War of Divisions, the thing that they have in common is that the main focus of them when they started was lateral progression. Like in Ragnarok, the max level of the units was level 99. You had the secondary level, which was the class level, and it was capped at 50, I believe. And then you had a uh, what do I call it? In Tree of Savior, you also had the same thing. When the game started, the max level was around 300, I want to say. I think it was 300. And in Final Fantasy War Divisions, the max level was 99 also. And the reason why I stopped playing those games was because I could not focus on getting new characters. The cool thing about the like War of Divisions, Ragnarok and Tree of Savior was having a lot of characters with different types of builds because all of those games they allow for like such a rich experience in trying to build new stuff and making different types of uh, teams, create different types of situations. Same thing with, uh, I'm sorry, with Ragnarok, you had like even the same class could work in so many different ways. And in Tree of Savior, you had so many mixtures of classes that you could make that it uh, that like if you only experience one character, like I feel like your experience of the game is really limited. So I liked making a lot of characters. And when the game started, I had like 8 or 9 characters, but like and all of them were at max level and had good equipment. I had 3 top tier characters and the other 5 were like high tier, like they were strong, especially because some of the equipment I borrowed from the other characters, but I couldn't do that with all of the gear, so I settled for okay, for like strong but not top tier gear on every character. And like my 3 favorites, I had like the strongest possible equipment. And like with War of the Visions, you don't really have like you can like pretty reliably get like all of your characters to top tier if you're given enough time. But that's the thing. I couldn't. I don't think I'm gonna get like all my characters to like top tier stage before this like the level 120 comes out. And the reason why I dropped Tree of Savior specifically was because for the longest time it was like a the power creep was really small. Like older gear became worse like at a really slow pace. But after a while, things just kept getting like replaced so quick that I could not reasonably get like my 3 characters to top tier stage and my and the rest of my characters to a strong stage. It got to the point where like I could not make new characters anymore because I wasn't even getting all my 8 characters to max level before like something new came out and I had to go back to playing on my main. And I had to raise his max level, get the new equipment, go back to farming some other item that's hard to get, I don't know. And that really bothered me because again, the cool thing about that game was the lateral progression, getting new stuff to try out, not getting more powerful stuff. And eventually, when they, like, I kept messaging them and telling them, dude, you guys are making everything like getting, you're making everything be replaced too fast. Stop doing that. Me and other players, we kept telling them that because I also was I mean, I'm not a whale in this game, but I spend a lot of money, like especially relative to the place where I live. I think most people from my country would consider me a whale because my money is worth shit. But but still, let's get let's focus here. Let's focus. Um, in that game, I also spent a lot because I wanted to support the game. Like in that game, paying to win wasn't really a thing until the later expansions. And I still paid just because I wanted to like make the game cool, you know. I wanted to support the game. I wanted the devs to have money to continue working on the game. And so I made sure to make my voice heard. I was like constantly talking, like sending messages to the devs, and sometimes they would answer, not always, but I'm pretty sure they read all of the messages because I'm pretty sure they always read messages from every player, regardless of their spending or not. But anyways, I kept telling them, dude, make things are getting replaced way too fast. I just finished farming my legendary set and the new one came out. What the fuck, right? And like in that game, another thing that frustrated me so heavily that thank God there's not a lot of it in this game was the RNG. Like here yeah, you have the RNG to get the character, but there you had the RNG to upgrade the character. Imagine that like every time you went to like LB your fucking character, you had a fucking 70% chance of failing. That's kind of what Tree of Savior felt. Sometimes you, oh my God, I don't even want to talk about it. But yeah, the RNG in that game was just brutal. Sometime and that's another thing. You would lose so much time that you spent not only because of Powercreep but because of fucking RNG. Yeah. And and eventually, when they stopped making things getting obsolete so fast, they then swapped out to making new ways to make your character more powerful. So yeah, okay, then you had the fucking art system, which was a way to make your character abilities even stronger. They already had that, it was called the attributes, but then they released the arts, which were like some super attributes that were super expensive to get. And then they released COs, which were pieces of gear that were like I don't know how to really describe them, but they were pieces of gear that were unequipable before, like they didn't exist before, new types of equipment. And I'm pretty sure that they released a new type of equipment after I stopped playing. And then you had cards, then you had legendary cards, because every character can equip 9 cards, I mean 12 cards, but then they added the card number 13 that was a legendary card, and that of course was hard as fuck to upgrade. Where I'm getting at with this, okay? Even though this is not power creep, even though this might not be power creep, because okay, old units are also getting this type of upgrade. Even though this might not be power creep, this can be something that will be so frustrating and will take so long to get that will just cause like a fucking headache. Okay, that's what I'm scared of. Okay, yeah, this might not be something that your like that makes your units stronger exactly, but maybe this is something. I mean, makes your units stronger and other units weaker. That's what I meant to say. This might not be something that obsoletes some units, but this might be something that makes you like waste even more fucking time with this shit. You know? This is like I'm scared that this will be so like infuriating to get. I'm guessing that not because I've seen some people get early to level 120 already. But still, if they add this and don't make shards more easily obtainable, and like I mean they basically need to make shards cheaper or make shards cheaper in another way that would be make free shards more easily obtainable, or they or like what was my other choice of like how to not make this such a fucking pain in the ass to get, because from what I heard you need shards for your characters. Or like make random pulls give us more shards. I think this was the one. But yeah, like they have to make shards more easily obtainable. Either the free shards or paid shards cheaper, or like make random pulls give us more shards than 40. Because otherwise, like I feel like this would be such a headache to like to play around with. And please make sure that collaboration units also get more shards, or like give us something that like can bypass shards, universal shards. Because otherwise, like I, I'm gonna wait to see this because I really love Final Fantasy IV. But if Final Fantasy IV units cannot be upgraded to level 120 like reasonably soon, like I might not spend in the game until Final Fantasy X. I might stop spending in the game until Final Fantasy X. Because what's the point? Like Final Fantasy IV is right around the corner. I think next month they should be released. Like at the end of this month, whatever. Like imagine how fucking fuming I'm gonna be if I spend like a lot of money for Kain and Cecil and Rosa because I would like to max all three of those characters, and like 3 months later those units are not even that good anymore, you know? Oh yikes, dude. That would be like a real bummer, and would probably, if I was a JP player, I would probably be like so close to quitting. If I was a JP player and I spent like, I don't know, dude, $500, $1,000 to max all characters, and then they they were power crept like this, and power crept I mean because they don't get the level 120 buff, I would be really furious. So now, like, just because I feel like it, I'm also gonna talk about like how they could avoid this, like how they could have avoided this level 120 thing. Like things that, again, I'm not a game designer. Okay, I might be talking out of my ass. I accept if that's the case, but if like, please give me like actual reasons why I'm wrong. Okay, don't just type, dude, you're stupid in the comments. Like, tell me why what I'm saying is wrong, okay? So here goes. Things that they could do to avoid like raising the level cap, that would also be like soft power creep, because it has been happening, okay? There is soft power creep. Uh, New units do offer advantages that older units don't. First of all, make new units have like different versions of the same job. Like, I'm not even talking about the fighter monk difference. Like, make new monks that are better. Uh, that ha like shift their ability boards or something. Give them new abilities. Make units that give the team buff. Like for instance, Raryu buffs every Earth unit. Make this, but make these units give buffs to off element units. So like for instance, make an Earth unit that buffs wind units in your team. Make an Earth unit. I'm sorry. Make an Earth unit that gives wind killer to like party members that are not Earth. Make off element buffs a thing. For instance, like make an Earth mage like Killfei that gives light units wind killer or some shit like that. Go crazy with it, like with the element combinations. And in that same vein, make units that have more off element abilities. Make an ice unit that has a water ability. Make like you could have done this with Auron, by the way. Make him a fire unit with lightning abilities. Because in the I've never finished Final Fantasy X, but I'm pretty sure that he had like fire and lightning abilities. He was a fire and lightning unit. So like make him a fire unit with lightning abilities. Or if you don't want him to be like fire so he doesn't get countered by Van at all, make him a wind unit with lightning and fire abilities. Because for God's sake, dude, his limit burst is a fire whirlwind. What the hell? This would like those three things would be ways to increase the power creep and make people still want the new units without doing this type of stuff. Like I really, again, I'm like I keep I maybe I should be more brass and like just pretend that I'm right, even though I don't think like I'm 100% right. But I don't think I'm wrong by saying that they didn't need to do this. Like go up to level 120. And to be honest, I don't even see like the because sometimes when something is obviously motivated by greed, you can see it. And this is why I'm giving War of Divisions the benefit of the doubt. I don't even see why they would why this would be a good move from not even just financially because okay, yeah, it's a good move financially, but I don't see like how a a greedy like suit a greedy guy in a suit would be like. Because sometimes I can see it in some games, like they have like designers that have like that are well intentioned, but then they have like guys. businessmen that are just like, huh, kids like video games. I'm gonna invest in video games. And then they're like, you have this shit in movies all the time where like a an executive comes comes and tries to like get involved in the artistic direction of the game. So I feel like I don't even feel like this has any reason to be I don't even feel like an executive would come by and say raise the power level, raise the level max level to level 120, because like people aren't playing our game enough. They need to play more because I don't even know, dude. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt that they think that this is for the better for the game, even though I don't agree. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt that they are not doing this for like greedy reasons. But I'm paying attention now. Like I wasn't like really I was kind of relaxed playing this game. I'm like, yeah, this game's the shit, dude. I'm gonna play this game for fucking 10 years or some shit like that. But this like has immediately given me like bad Tree of Savior vibes. So please please Gumi, please Square Enix, I don't know. Please, guys, do not screw this up. I really want to play this game. I want to give you guys my money. Remember that. And there are a lot of people that want to give you money. And I know a lot of people that will stop giving you money if, like, every year we get a 30 level uh, raise in the level cap. Okay? I don't want. I swear to God, I do not. I do not appreciate this. And I will continue playing this until Final Fantasy IV comes around. If by the time Final Fantasy IV comes around and I'm not satisfied with the state of JP, I think I'm gonna quit. I might like continue playing as a free to play and like just play as a free to play until FFX comes around. Then I'm gonna play a bit like until the like to see how the level cap affects me. And if I don't like it, like that's gonna be like strike three. This is strike one. What I'm seeing now is strike one. Strike two is gonna be if by the time Final Fantasy IV comes around, I think JP is not in a good spot. And strike three and like the elimination of four divisions from my mobile device is gonna be if I play for like a month after FFX comes around and I don't like it. Uh, I said this in a few comment sections. I don't want to sound like a fucking Karen. Like, when I talk to your manager, I don't like this. You're gonna lose a customer. I'm never gonna buy your fucking Taco Bell again. I don't want this to come off like that. Uh, I'm trying my best to not be like aggressive because I know I can list at least one YouTuber that I think is way too aggressive when he talks about this game. Um, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be like aggressive talking about like how I'm gonna quit the game if it doesn't meet my expectations. But what I want to say is that this is worrying. This is worrying, and I played way too much Tree of Savior after it stopped being a pleasing game for me. I I continued to play for so long until it was like I stopped liking Tree of Savior when I think the third set of legendary items came around, like right after the second, and equipment was just getting not legendary, mythic. What was the second highest rarity? I don't fucking know. But whatever. What I'm trying to say is I played way too much of that game after it stopped being like a pleasing activity. I kept playing because I felt obligated because I had spent so much time in that game. Like, no, it will get better with the next expansion. And when Powercreep finally, like, gear stopped finally being like obsolete, like every fucking expansion, then it was fucking new ways to make your character stronger. And this is giving me that vibe. And I'm not gonna play a game if it's not fun for me. What I'm trying to say is, I want to play your game. I want to continue coming back to this game. Okay? And I'm not trying to threaten you with my money. I spend a lot for me, but I'm sure that in the grand scheme, I'm not like one of the few play. I'm not really a whale. I'm not spending thousands of dollars every month like I'm pretty sure some people are. But I am spending a lot of money to me. Please, please don't make me quit this game. I really love it. I love Final Fantasy, and I love the sense of lateral progression in this game. Uh, I'm your hostage, Square Enix. Please don't kill me. Don't kill your hostage, okay? Okay. So this is gonna be it for today. Uh, I don't know if this was as rambly as you guys expected. I don't know if this was. I I don't know if this was like longer than it needed to be. I hope that I got my message across. I hope that I didn't sound like way too aggressive and like I hope that I didn't sound like someone that is like uh angry and resentful of the game, and I hope that I don't sound entitled. That's especially like the what I don't want to come out as. I don't want you guys to think that I think that I'm entitled to this. But I want this to come as politely as I possibly can. So thank you for listening, especially if you're from Square Enix. If you somehow found the time to listen to this rant and like really hear what I have to say and consider everything, thank you so much. I can uh I don't even know. I can only say thank you and thank you and please consider what I'm saying. Please don't discard a large part of your player base without absolutely needing to, okay? So I'm gonna see you guys next time. My next video, I don't know what's gonna be. I'm probably going to make a new arena video soon. And I'm also probably gonna make a video talking about Miranda and why I think she's underrated. And probably also about Skull because I think he's really good. But I understand why a lot of people don't use him. So yeah, hope you guys have a good evening, good day, whatever. See you guys soon. Bye.